Hey everybody, welcome back. I did not eat a peanut butter sandwich today, so your safety, your points, etc., your dopamine is not guaranteed. However, you know what? You're at 2-3 with downside. No thanks. Give me that ye old 3-2, and I'll be how about an illegal wig? Like, hey, that's not a regulation wig. You can't wear that. Remember when Hulk Hogan had the Gawker trial, and he petitioned the judge to be able to wear a formal do-rag in court? That's a true story. Look it up. Give me one of these. I'm not thrilled to be taking a mouse, honestly. But as ramshackle as this team looks, the stats don't lie. The stats also do not tell the stats tell the truth. Look at this, we win. Okay. I did eat a big lunch. It wasn't a peanut butter sandwich, and you know what? That's okay. So check this out. Level 2. How about you get buffed by a giraffe? That's like a must take, in my opinion. It's a must take. Any Men at Work fans? It's a must take. That's not a huge Men at Work song. You could be forgiven for not knowing it. I know what you're going to say, by the way. You're going to be like, NL, why on earth you love the stork so much? It's one of the, like, I stall out so often at rounds like 2, well, I guess round like 3 through, what round are we headed towards? Hopefully like round 8 or something like that. Just looking for units that do anything, but they don't exist. The stork gives us a chance to invest in a unit that actually does something. Like, it is not the best unit of all time, but in the late game, it will die and it will summon a unit that's better than itself. That doesn't happen very often. And that makes me feel very positive about it. And I will not apologize for that positivity. As you know, I'm a very positive guy. I've been described as the smiliest guy on YouTube by many people, my mom mostly. So this is, we've lost some. I would like to get back. Can I tell you something in all honesty? Don't hit the beaver. Fantastic. The donkey is good enough to take. You're going to hate that I'm telling the truth there, but it's true. I'm now going to sell a beaver. You've served your purpose. I have absolutely no problems running 2 giraffes into a level 2 giraffe. And the giraffe buffing itself is a tale as old as time. I think this team is, and I say this on almost every run, but I genuinely think this team is good. And did you see what we just had spat out there from the stork? An 8-4 flamingo? Wasn't even a contest. Now, the problem, I will say, is I do oftentimes get too attached to the donkey. This is almost as early as you could get a llama. So you know what? I'm willing to take it. And I, for real, think that, like, the scaling is meaningful. It sucks to only have 4 units, but most teams, if you really look at them, they don't have 4 units that do something in the game. They usually have 4 units that do something, like, in the shop. Or, sorry, 4 units that do something in the game, and then, like, 1 unit that does something in the shop. Like a monkey, for example. So it's not that big of a deal to miss out on it. That being said, we are on lethal, so it shows what I know. I am, I mean, I'm being a little risky. I can't deny that. You could freeze a salad if you have to, but, well, you know, this is I think in this situation, we have to set up for that level 2 llama next turn to have any realistic chance of winning. I really do think this team is pretty good, though. I wish we hadn't lost some of those, like, early rounds, because I think we'd stand a chance. I hate it. I love it. I hate it. I love it. I love it just fine. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. You're going to summon a bus. We already knew that. Okay. And then a level 2 llama lets us supercharge this. It is expensive, admittedly, but we're going to get a level. Obviously, a shark doesn't really make sense here. If I have to go stork, I don't think there's a problem with going stork in this situation. Obviously, like, getting the stork to level 3 is probably not that valuable, but I believe in the team. The #1 unit to get sold right now would not, for me at least... Oh my god, their team is just me but stronger. No, it's me but the same strength. I would get rid of a giraffe before I got rid of the stork right now. And I stand by that. I really do. Why don't you take a chili pepper? I told you I was going to prove it to you. For right now, why don't you take one of these? Now, next turn, we can get a level 3 stork for effectively no reason. As the llama gets higher and higher, and we somehow are still alive... hold on, I might want to rethink what I just said there. Never mind, we draw again. We will be able to think about the opportunity cost of forgetting about the llama scaling in orbit. Not yet, but if we're somehow alive in a few rounds, we could think about getting rid of the llama scaling effect in order to take one more valuable unit. Now, I don't know. I'm hopeful that we'll get to that. We appear to be in draw purgatory, though. So maybe I'm getting my hopes up a little bit, but it's a bit of a unique team, wouldn't you say? This team we've got here. Oh my god, you had the greatest chili pepper of all time, and yet we win one. Okay. Don't be afraid to say goodbye to the giraffe if you have to. That was not necessary. I mean, 1/1 permanent scaling times 2, or a scorpion. I think we got to talk about the scorpion, man. The orca is more fun than it is good, but freeze me. Now we got a complete picture. I mean, monkey buffing the stork is probably even better, but I think it's just scorpion, man. I think it's always been scorpion. Forget it. We need, in order, let's just think of it logically. In order for our run to work, oh, you overrode it, you genius. We lose. In order for a 4 squad to work, you need at least one of your units to 2 for 1. Or 1 for 2, rather. So I think the scorpion was like a guaranteed 1 for 1. And then we were just hoping to get a little something extra out of the stork, but it obviously didn't work out that well. For now, give me this, and then we'll talk about adding a frilled dragon. How about a famous chipmunk? Who do you think is the most famous chipmunk? I'm going to say Alvin. We know it's not Simon or Theodore, because Alvin is the most popular of all the chipmunks. He eats at the coolest restaurants. He hangs out with the hottest babes. You know it's true. Why are you weird champing me? You know it's true. I think we'd rather have 2, 3, 4s. Very strange sentence to say, but I stand by it. Sorry if you're offended by the way my water bottle sounds, by the way. It's doing its best. We win this easily. I think this team... I mean, I've got to get out of self-caricature mode, but I think this team can get the job done. It's doing wonderfully right now. You do not have a feint trigger, but you got me thinking. Because, like, you're useless. Put out a 3-2 instead. Give it literally any held food. But preferably, don't waste your time on honey. I would literally, it's beautiful. Now a croissant. And we can use this to supercharge croissants onto all of the units that we summon. Now, we don't necessarily think that croissant is that good, necessarily. But to get one for free consistently is kind of sick. We are going to lose this one. But I think we got a setup for the future. I think we got a way forward. Plus, we're at 2 wins, 2 hearts down. That's, like, better than average. You're not a feint triggered, but you are a solid unit. I needed to summon you different so you would get the croissant. I'm actually kind of stupid. Take this. I think you're a great croissant holder. I think we're kind of... We're pivoting off of Frilled Dragon a little bit, believe it or not. I fed it a cookie for the time being, but this team doesn't seem like summons plus a lot of Frilled Dragons is going to be the way to go for us long term. I could be wrong. Is this workable? Is this makeable? Is this lose by 1 territory? It is lose by 1 territory, okay. You may not love this, but sell me Buy me. Oh, but why would you even want a croissant? You know what? If I'm being honest, I didn't know that you were going to get the croissant. I mean, I should have known, but I just didn't think about it. I still think this is a good idea. Now, I don't know if this counts as a feint trigger, but I think you're just good enough to have in the hold. And then I think you can leave. And then 2 giraffes is honestly kind of interesting to me. I mean, the stats are good. 5/6 giraffe that buffs an ox that already has melon armor. Maybe. I don't know. I'm kind of... remember when I said this team is good? Since then, I'm not ashamed to admit I've made a few mistakes. We're going to beat this team, though. Now, the thing is, we have no permanent fixtures on this squad. Probably the ox will stick around. The giraffe will stick around longer than it should, in all likelihood. But apart from that, like, the seagull and capybara are basically designed to be pivoted from. Don't really like any of the... You know what? Here's actually an interesting idea. We know that a capybara is probably gone anyway. And actually, a seagull is probably gone first. What if you bought a leech, knowing it's going to steal a croissant, so it's gaining 1 attack per turn, but it's also gaining 1 defense, like 1 HP per turn, as a result of the leech ability. Now, we do have an ox at the front, which is just idiotic. Genuinely just bad. Makes no sense. Should not have happened that way. But I stand by the weird, what about a free croissant on a leech and then just have it kill units or do whatever you feel like it has to do, you know? So, like, you're gone and you're probably also gone. You probably start with a roll, you look for your pivot unit. I don't know if the pivot unit exists here, but we can't be too precious. I would roll one more time. I guess I would, in this situation, I would sell you, and then I wouldn't worry too much about leeching a little bit off our weaker capybara, because now I'm kind of like looking for a capybara. No, now we change tact incredibly so. We sell the capybara that doesn't have a croissant. We purchase a buffalo. Let's sell the other capybara. Let's purchase a beaver to buff the buffalo. I just, in my heart of hearts, I simply think that a buffalo is like maybe actually the best unit in the game. I'm kind of attached to giraffe ox because they're pretty strong. I'm kind of attached to the idea we've got in our leech here. So I'm just keeping like 1 unit around basically to feed HP to our leech. We're going to lose. Like, badly. Actually, we're going to draw, like, mathematically perfectly. Shows what I know. And then you can get sold. And I don't mind it. And you can get bought, and you can get sold. And I still think you should take this. I think you can get bought and sold, man. Now, the problem here, that actually worked out pretty well. The problem here is we don't want a leech to eat a mouse, because then it will die, I think. I don't know if it changes how it works in the shop, but it'll die, and then we won't get to sell it for an apple. So we might as well just get 1 turn of the benefit of a donkey, I suppose. And how strange is this, man? The team is kind of working. I wouldn't say it's 100% there, but considering I'm in the weeds of my own theory crafting here, I don't feel too bad about it. Why don't you buy a friend? Why don't you buy a friend? It's a bit of a strange one, I'll admit. I would probably... I mean, I think you could just buy an ox, get the buff, and then suck some HP out of it, and then combine it next turn for the level. Giraffe could level up next turn. Do we even want that? I don't know, but here we are. It's a little weird. I like the idea of the leech getting stronger faster too. Like, it's just not scaling at a pace that it needs to scale at right now, but it is doing better than, I don't know, any other leech I've ever used in my life, so there is that, I suppose. Now, that is a strong snake. Holy cow. I never even thought about snake pineapple. Now, that's an interesting way to run a team. Combine. Not my finest move. I meant to... Oh, no, it still worked. Honestly... I may regret this, but it is also kind of funny. Like, the amount of buffing we can get out of this decision is a little remarkable. And then... 4-8 is good, but, like, just give me the 4-6 because I actually think it provides a benefit. And then we're gonna try to... Like, we still want the Leech to suck off the donkey. And I knew that that phrasing was going to sound like that before I said it, and I committed. I said, you know what? Yes, I'm not a coward. I'm going to say it. I'm still pogged. Still pogged. Go ahead, move that ox to the front so it doesn't even get a trigger. Dude, okay. Now, can the dragon pull us to 10? It's a long trip. Maybe we'll see you next fall, but we're going to try, okay? It is an impressive scaler, and keep in mind the buffalo's getting the impact of the scaling as well. We have an awful long way to go, though. Now, the chocolate would be nice. We'll probably have to wait 1 round. Okay, I don't mind. And then you should just eat the cricket. I will say it is a funny thing to think about, the idea of using the chocolate on the Leech. I definitely think it's the wrong idea. Holy cow, we won. But it is, if we get a surplus of chocolate, I would go buffalo first, Leech from that point onwards. Like, okay, sell, no, I almost sold you. Sell me, buy me. Dragon is also probably more valuable than the Leech. I say probably as if it's even like a question. Why don't you take one of these? Level 6 alpaca. Trying to think if there's anything here we'd really like to get out there. And I think the answer is, like, not really. We could put a monkey out there. We get a 2-3 buff. But, like, we lose 2-1 just buying this thing. So I almost feel like rolling to set up our next turn has a chance to be better. But I could be wrong. I don't know. The Leech is, even with the free Croissant, it's not scaling as fast as I'd like, but it's definitely better than, like, I've ever seen it be before. Not a problem. I'm very scared of the stork, honestly. No, never mind. Okay. Maybe I overrate the stork more than any other unit in this game. I'm realizing that may be true. True. That may be true. Now, I'm not buying chocolate until, like, I see another dragon, at least. I'm happy to keep it frozen. Snake is really good, as we've seen before, but it's just not part of my play right now. You could try it. Now, this is not destined to work, right? But getting a level 2 dragon out there would be fun. That would be a fun thing to do. So sure, take a crow out here, have it sack some HP for the greater good of the Leech, which somehow is doing something for us. He's cracked. He's insane. It's the craziest team I've ever run, and yet here we are at 9 wins. It's not that crazy. Now, we're basically in lethal territory one way or the other. You just commit at this point, and you say, like, we're going to do whatever we can in this really narrow space. And our really narrow space is just buying level 1s. Or tier 1s, I should say. Now here, of all of these, the most valuable unit, in my opinion, you probably throw out the shark as a 10-10. I think it means way more than a level 2.33 fox. I mean ox. And you gotta, you know what? Do it like that. The dragon can afford 1 HP to go down. Our Leech kind of popped off. Man, I know I keep saying it hasn't done what I needed it to do, but holy cow, considering it did it all itself, now I'm realizing the error of my ways. That is a very strong creature back there. No, by 2, but still, I think we had a great time there. If you can get a Croissant on a Leech, you can be like a supporting player. We got 2 of the same unit. Why don't you try me on for size? This is like this team right now, and we'll be an awkward hipster. It's built for round 1 superstardom and then losing, like, from that point onwards due to it having no identity. Okay. Very similar team, of course. It's a very similar team you got there. I don't like any of these, so let's just take an apple, because it does, like, pseudo-synergize. And you know what? This weirdly pseudo-synergizes as well. Oh, no, because it buffs the cockroach. It only buffs the rightmost, or the leftmost unit. But still, I probably still would have bought the cookie in that situation. Just to give myself the best chance possible of a round 2 victory. Okay, so I don't mind this. Okay, how about a sell me? Level me? I'm like, a feed me doesn't do anything now. We still probably want to feed you, though. I think, just work with me here, okay? I do think we want a seagull. We can afford to buy at a croissant next turn. So why don't you take an apple? Then you become a 7/8. You get the HP to become a 3/4. Freeze this. This is a 3 squad. That's the thing I didn't really think about, is that it never even entered my mind that we would be running 4 units here. So we're going to lose, and I'm okay with that. I think it's okay for the setup that I'm planning, okay? Which is to go down to a 2 squad. You take a croissant. So one of you has to get a croissant. You don't do anything. So we're going to be rolling a 3 squad again. We don't really want cockroach croissant. Of all of these units, okay, we're buying back an ants. It's actually worse. It's actually so much worse. But just you wait, man, until when this, you're gonna be sorry, dude, when this team hit the back rank. You hit the back rank, you piece of crap. Okay, sorry, I'm back. Just you wait. Elephant me? I like this. Pill me. You know what? Let's not be a fool. Let's buy 2 disposable units. Yeah, this team is not good. See, I don't say this team is good every time. Sometimes I say this team is not good. In situations like this, where our team is not good. On the other hand, it did just pick up a dub. I want to see a Leech. I can't believe that's what I'm asking for, but it's true. How about you sell me? Dude, our Ox was cracked last time. Give it a chance. It wasn't the order we probably should have done it in. I know you're probably screaming, puppy, puppy, puppy. This isn't Dota, okay? I don't rely on puppy every time. I like that. A 3/5 Ox. Why don't you come to the front now? We have to be very careful about what we take. I love it. I would love you to have a croissant. I think what you do is roll, sure, and roll. And then pop this out here. We don't care that it doesn't have a croissant because we're going to combine it next turn. I don't know what we're doing with a level 2 seagull. It provides us with no benefit whatsoever. However, this does. This does. This does. We sacrificed a little and now we reap the benefits. Potentially. Level me. Monkey. With the croissant. We really don't need the seagull to pop and give croissants to everybody. So the seagull can go, but not for any of these units. It's got to be something more. You know what? Go ahead. Take some credibility. I don't know. I don't think this team is good. But maybe it's one of those things where I'm like, it's not good. But when you actually break it down, its stats are good. You piece of crap. You piece of crap. By 1 Ox v Monkey, that's painful. I am on lethal. Okay, what do? You're an 8/6. You got to stick around, even though this would give you a croissant, okay? Now, the deer is just a unit that's good enough, and you know what? I think it's that good enough. Now we get bodied by chili peppers. Is fair to say. And one of our deers is getting overpowered. All right, just welcome. I guess I should have put it at the front. Now there's a 1-1 buff wasted. Level 2 deer is pretty sick. This team that we're going up against, not very sick for us. Straight up, like, not cash money, okay? I mean, if I'm being honest with you, we didn't deserve to win that one, but luckily we didn't. Hey, I still had a great time. Always remember win number 9, okay? Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Click the like button if you did. Subscribe. Tell your friends, etc., etc. I'll see you next time. See ya.